So basically, I was just watching a video and thought I'd do a video on why slavery still affects black people to this day and minorities in general, but predominantly black people. And yeah, I was going to go some of the current day effects that are still happening and why slavery is very important in history and how it's permanently going to affect black people basically. So the first one I would say is language. The entire world is forced to speak English. I don't know how many languages there is in the world. I'm going to say at least more than 100. But the main prominent language everyone needs to speak is English. English is a predominantly white language from a European settlement, for lack of a better word. And everyone's forced to speak English. I speak English very well. I find it very hard to pronounce African names. I find it very easy to pronounce English names. My name is John. It's absolutely crazy. I've now lost. I'm second generation English. If you didn't know, Caribbean roots. I've now lost my heritage, or should I say, ability to pronounce certain African words and that because my vernacular and my accent makes it impossible. European shit, you get me? Secondly would be the currency. English currency or any white currency for that matter, whether it's England or America or any European currency, the euro is always stronger than the black currencies in Africa, for example. Unless someone could tell me otherwise, maybe like the Cayman Islands, but once again, a lot of these islands are under British rule from colonialism fucking all them years ago. So the effects of money, which literally runs the world, is also a direct effect of colonialism. Everyone needs the English pound. We can fly to every single country in the world if you've got a minimum wage job, if you just save enough. Whereas the countries that you're flying to, if you work your job in them countries, you would never be able to fly to England, let alone have fun in England. You think we could barely go to London and have fun? What makes you think of someone from Thailand, unless they got an amazing job, could go to London and have a bit of fun? They wouldn't want to come here. You get me? Thirdly, what else did I say? Let me just pause, have a quick think. All right, so a third one would be the criminalization of certain cultures and their particular uses of certain, for lack of a better term, vices. Yeah, I'm going to use the word vices. So for prime example, black people are predispositions to be herb smokers of the ganja. It's very smelly, but apart from that, it's basically harmless. In fact, the UK has recently decriminalized it in a way where you can get a medical cannabis card, and the government's even growing weed now. I hate the word weed. I revoke that term. Ganja, herb, Aishen. So everyone call it, but blood clot weed and a weed that, a herb, man, a plant that, Yeah, man, get me mad, Babylon. But yeah, now Babylon, the government has now started to cultivate their own herb to distribute to the masses, as long as you're legal and you got a cannabis medical card that they will distribute you if you go through the proper channels and rare. But black people and minorities have been smoking weed. Bun weed, man, I like the blood clot term. I'm a brainwash. The ganja is been around for hundreds of years, and only now you want to decriminalize it. People have gone to jail for these things. You got a drug like cocaine, there's no smell, so you can literally do it anywhere. If you spill a bag of cocaine on your floor, you could just, let's say it's fucking sugar. Is a known fact and it's been documented that in the Houses of Parliament, the people that run our country, there has been traces of cocaine in the Parliament toilets. Why is there traces of cocaine in the Parliament toilets? Is the government. Why are people that run in the country doing cocaine? But you'll never get caught. It's out your system within 24 hours, 48 hours, I'm not sure. Yeah, as soon as you go to sleep, wake up, you're pretty much okay. It's almost an undetectable drug, yet it does way more harm to your system short term and the long term, and as a class A. But herb is more easier detectable, and you got consequences and repercussions like losing your driving license, which then affects your livelihood if you drive, and all these other things. And let alone it ostracize you from society because you can't even smoke it in certain places, because people will get angry because of the smell, and because it's illegal, they do have something to say. If it was legal, like cigarettes that stink just as bad, they don't say nothing. So that's another one. That's three of them. Let me think of one more. So the fourth one would be assimilation, or trying to just get along in this country. Like I said, I'm born and bred a second generation English with Caribbean roots. I'm mixed race, half and half, dual heritage, whatever you want to call it, apart from the other one, yeah. Money half cash, you get me? Money half cash. Dual heritage or mixed race thing, you get me? All black. If you want to call me black is in me. But one thing I ain't is white. Even though I have white in me not white still is in me. Another thing set, you get me? I see whatever the bumper clock want to call me, you understand? But listen now, I forgot what I was gonna bumper clock say. Let me come back one sec. That was the assimilation and just trying to get along this country. So I'm born here, bred here. I went nursery, primary school, secondary school, college. Born and raised in a quote unquote English household. Mum's English, black English. Her mum's Jamaican, and my dad is a white ginger man. So 50-50, like I said. Yeah, I've gone to school here, everything, all nationalities, everything. I found growing up the schooling systems, they're all way more multicultural in the working place, and I'm from Bristol, innit, which I recently looked at the 2024 census. Is it just under a population of 500,000? Is 81% white, 6% Asian, 5% black, and about 4% dual heritage. The numbers may or may not add up by a couple percentage, but that's pretty much the numbers, yeah. So long story short, minorities are up against it, and in the schooling systems and whatnot, all the way up to college, complete mixing and blending. When I've gone to the workplace, 9 times out of 10, I'm the only minority in there, or there is another minority that's been there for several years. And when we see each other, we know what time it is because it's like, holy moly. But yeah, I've been working at certain companies for, doesn't matter how long, 6 months, up to a year. And there's still racial slurs. They'll be calling me half caste. You can't call me that. If you're not familiar with the term, half caste means I'm less of a human. It means I'm half of a human. I'm half, you get me? I'm a caste. I'm half of a caste. Is an absolute mad thing. You get me? Once I learned the history, I have educated people on these terms. They still revert back to their old racist ways and call me half caste and all these things. That's something I know. Once you've been educated and you still progress back to your old racist colonized ways, you can't be educated and you're rotten as a human. But these same people that are rotten, they own companies that build houses, so they're essentially in positions of power, and they don't want to hire me now because I've opened up my mouth and defended my liberty in this country. I still get bombarded on a semi-regular basis at work, constantly racial slurs, racial jokes, yada yada. Some people might stand up for yourself, all these things. I've done all of that. All that happens is you lose your job, yada yada yada. I would just smash the man in his face, but at a certain moment in time, you realize this has been happening to black people for over 400 years, all the way back from slavery. They've been thinking they could just do what they want with us, and then when you rise up and have an uprising like Haiti or any other countries, you kind of get away with it, but at the same time you get ostracized. Because now fast forward, I'm pretty sure there was a certain like friction between England and Haiti, you get me? So they probably strategically fucked up Haiti economically so they don't get any forefront in the this race called life, you get me? So yeah, yeah, even though my name is John, generally struggle to fit into society. I basically got to be racist with them and banter upon my own people. I'm not a sellout, you get me? I'm just trying to make some money on a day-to-day in a legitimate way, and it's hard, you get me? But if that's what I got to go do verbally, because if they ever put their hands on me, I'll smash man up, you get me? But my ancestors and generationals before me of black people and minorities, they've had to deal with worse than this, innit? They've had to deal with physical violence, sabotage, gaslighting, corruption, losing your job for no reason, you name it. People before me have gone through it, and I'm well aware of this. So I just shut my mouth and get on with it. The Bristol bus boycotts is a prime example of this. RIP all the people that got involved. I know some original members have recently passed. RIP, you done your duty. Moment of silence. Because that's all that we fucking get as black people, yeah? We barely get a moment of silence, yeah? I'm almost in my 30s, yeah? Late 20s. And I fully acknowledge people before me because I understand as a mixed race man living in 2024 how hard it is. So God knows how hard it would have been back then. It infuriates me. I almost feel like I want to go back in time and help smash and fight their battles for them. That's how infuriating it is. Yeah? And that's another one. Understanding. Caucasians will never understand what it's like to be a minority. It is hard. It's not easy. You got to try harder than the rest. There's prejudgments. There's stereotypes. You name it, there's a fucking barrier to cross. It must be nice to not get judged by any of this fucking bollocks and you can just be you. Because trust me, we've got to be us. No, we can't even be us in the workplace. We've got to be like you. We've got to talk like you. We've got to behave like you. And we've got to be racist like you. Just to get a fucking paycheck in the morning. And you think it's easy to get out of bed. And you wonder why there's such a high unemployment rate within minorities. It's hard to work with you lot. You don't make it easy. Constantly, you understand? Poking the bear. When the bear strikes back, we lose our job and we get sacked. This shit ain't easy. Yeah? Shit ain't easy, trust me. I've been in over like 30 companies, never seen a minority in a position of power, never, always bottom of the barrel, always manual labour. The shitter the job, the more minorities, the better the job, the less minorities. I'm going to say it one more time. The shitter the job, the more minorities. The better the job, the less minorities. Yeah? Put down the t-shirt because it's real. I'll try to think of a couple more before I go. So this is the last one. It's basically the teaching of nothing but the English culture, and essentially messing up people like myself, minorities. And I want about the government schooling system here on not being able to pronunciate one's own culture. Basically, it is kind of up to people's parents as well, but at the same time, all I've been taught is 100% English stuff in school. I give my school Whitfield a bly because it was a language college, but they taught every language but black language. It was German, French, Spanish, a bit of Arabic. Big up, I forgot his name, but big him up because he fought for his rights and roots and culture because he was Muslim, to be able to speak Arabic within the school and teach the fellow Muslim, Islam, I'm not clued up, people, them, you get me? So big him up. But yeah, there was no African black language being taught. You just get the average idiot chatting patois, saying blood clot and wagwan. Man, I really, you understand? These are the things that, man. But yeah, this was just a quick freestyle of literally, as I'm sat here, I'm going to provide a link of a video, and it's called Why the West Eliminated Africa's Greatest Leaders. And that basically says, well, tells me that whenever as black people we rise up and want to do better for ourselves, even if we put every plan in place, we'll literally get killed. We'll literally get killed. I could say the names, but unfortunately I don't know them all because I've been gentrified and I can't pronounce my own people's names. My name's John, but I do know one of them. R.I.P. and long live Patrice Lombardo. I may have said it wrong, but his name's definitely Patrice Lombardo, one of the great African leaders who's been assassinated by Dirty Babylon, and it shall never end. I could name countless others, but I'm going to stop there. While I'm here, R.I.P. Akabeka. But yeah, it is, as a modern day youth, yeah, living in England is not easy, yeah? And that's another thing, where they brainwash man with the English culture, I find it hard to be in connection with my other culture. My parents didn't really teach me too tough about my culture, my black side, so because I know what I am, I've had to, and racial slurs and rare, I've had to dig down a rabbit hole called history and knowledge. And upon history and knowledge, I've started to read the real truth about Africa and the origins of human life and existence and original people. And once you realize, you start to realize, that's why they invented sunbeds and Botox and steroids, to imitate the more quote unquote superior man. But we're all the human race, no such thing as racism. There's such a thing as colorism, no such thing as racism. Only one race, the human race, yeah? I'm going to leave it on that note. And on a quick one, I just freestyled this whole thing. There wasn't no pen, paper, I didn't write no points. I was just watching this video and it come to my mind like, holy shit. This is like before my time. Some of these guys died in the 1900s and shit. And they've been assassinated by the Western world. These are great men to me and they've been killed. What chance do I have as a young mixed race, dual heritage black guy in England, Bristol, born and bred, and I'm still finding it hard to survive in a Babylon? I'm more than capable to put my mind to something and do it, and I've done it several times, and every several times it's failed through out of powers none other than my own. It is very difficult to survive. Every day I wake up and thank Jah that I ain't dead and died, but Jah know is hard out here, and man, for you understand, that's why I'm releasing this video now, just a quick reasoning with the world, yeah? I don't really want too much backlash, yeah, you get me? Because I mean, it's a top my truth, you get me? Just listen to what I gotta say, don't leave no comment, and just appreciate, you get me? Forgiveness if I offended anyone in any way, I'm not here for that, you get me? And yeah, big up love and blessings every time. Ramsey with a 6 and a 8, you understand? Jah Rastafari.